Hey, you guys. Looks like some stuff didn't work out here. Got to remove something here from the stream. I don't know, man. So, yeah, thanks. This is my vlog. This is where I talk about my story and the music associated with the story. Um, I like to go live and yeah, and read from the story that I created here. Um, so thanks to anyone who shows up. Yeah, I actually need these now. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Also, there's like I in my studio now. I have a dual thing. I guess YouTube has the portrait, so that's kind of screwing me up. But yeah, let's get into this. So first off, I want to address something. I'm going to share screen here, and I'm going to go to my Facebook. I'm going to share this, and this is whatever. But okay, so what I do is I release the song, then I release the explained, right? And here, so my friend Edward, he says, I am very concerned about AI and the dangerous potential of stealing individuals' identities, right? Or whatever. I did what, officer? That is not me. Where are you taking me? I'm innocent. Yeah, and I don't know if Edward is addressing an aspect of the story that I'm telling, which is Melvin Orton, um, or if he's being kind and saying, "Hey, man, I met this guy, Aaron. Like I met Edward Smith. There was this theater in Yelm, Washington, called the Triad Theater, right? And that's where I met Edward. He's a poet. He's been published. He's a really cool guy. He has a huge vinyl collection. And I assure you, Edward, I've been doing this for freaking years now, man, years. And right now I'm in the process of going back through the old songs that I released like years ago and redoing them. And I'm not AI, and I don't use AI at all. I don't, as far in regards to music creation, no AI. In regards to album art, that's me and my wife, no AI. And when it comes to my video creations, no AI. I do, full disclosure, I do use AI a little bit for ideas to promote because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But AI has nothing to do with the music. That's the most important thing. And that I actually spend a lot of freaking time doing this. You know, I spend, I give up a lot to do what I'm doing. And I think that most people would think I'm crazy, you know, but I started this process and I'm going to finish it. And if the songs are sounding too good, that's a compliment to me. And I know we live in this AI world, but I assure you, I do not use AI. I actually I use what I refer to as the Bob Pollard method of guided by voices, in which I start off with just writing the words on paper first, and then I come out with a vocal melody, and then I add music to it. Or if it's wordless, I create the melody first on an instrument, and then everything is weaving around that. So I use Ableton Live, but I do not use AI, and that's just a fact. Yes, the past is just peptides, a neural net. Thank you, Leia. I appreciate you being here. So I'm going to remove the Facebook really quick. And I think I'm going to, just to get my brain rolling a little bit, I'm going to add something else here. Okay, I got to stop that screen. And then I'm going to share the screen. And I'm going to go to Psychotronic Squirt Gun YouTube. And like I said, I've been working really hard on this stuff. And so what I have here is the playlist. I'm not going to play every freaking video. Steps into the balcony that leads to her office. But this introduces thinking of her sister, the good doctor, has some concerns. I want her sister to think that way. Clarissa thinks she's running from something. So this introduces Clarissa. And so there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I have no logical explanation upcoming, right? So I might go through these different. I'm trying to keep these under. See, the first 2 here are 7 minutes. I don't want to do that. I'm trying to keep these under 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes. So, but we're gonna, and now I'm introducing a new character. But one day, the banter got very serious. Okay, so we're talking about Clarissa Kates. Introducing a new character called Dr. Clarissa Kates, and I'm very excited about this. Who is a psychiatrist, and she's obsessed with curing mental illness. And this is because when she was younger, she had a best friend named Marilyn, and they were very precocious. You know, these kids, you know, they were like maybe 9 or 10, and they were talking about world politics and science and wormholes and all stuff that would probably make. Okay, so her friend ended up killing herself, and when they were young, and that ended up really freaking her out, and she became a psychiatrist obsessed with curing mental illness. And that's what The Good Doctor is, just an introduction to Dr. Clarissa Kates. And so we go to the next song here. Her first appointment of the day is Mr. Orton. He's due to arrive in a few minutes, but actually, to her surprise, there's already pretty cool. A knock on the door, it must be him already. So in this one, Dr. Clarissa Kates is so we're going to share another screen here. Is talking about linear. Is talking to I don't know if I'm going to continue. Mr. Orton, Mr. Melvin Orton. Okay. And maybe I could get a little snippet of this. No, I don't want to do that. I think I read the lyrics or something. Momentarily. Yeah, here we go. In a few minutes. It's kind of humbling, you know, looking at how you were and you thinking you could just do, well, I could just edit the heck out of that way. Clarissa thinks she's running from something. Second song picks up, obviously, after the first one, with her thumping down in her office chair, right, and all that. So the second song is called Mr. Orton Wasn't Always This Way. Her first appointment of the day is Mr. Orton. He's due to arrive in a few minutes, but actually, to her surprise, there's already a knock on the door. It must be him already. She calls out for him to come in, and as he steps through the threshold, he greets her momentarily, but his eyes shift, and then he quickly jerks his head as if maneuvering away from an unwanted pet on the head. Okay, so this is describing Melvin Orton and how screwed up he is. So I won't stay on this one either. Hey, Daniel, thanks for swinging by and saying hi, man. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate Leia, too. So yeah, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day here. So now we're gonna jump to the Insights Interest Him, which is the third song.
She began by asking him how his day was uneventful for the most part. He replied, then stopped himself short, as if refraining from saying the next thing. Listen, he continued, I've been entirely honest with you. She asked him about what he began to reveal, what he thought he knew.
All right, so that now in this one, he's revealing the manner of his psychosis to his psychiatrist, and it has something to do with him reading into the world around him and gleaning insights that barely make sense, but he's convinced that he's super powerful. What up, Ron? Thanks for being here, Ron. Thanks for saying hi, man. It really means a lot to me. Pretty soon I'm going to be continuing the story of Clarissa Kates and her client, Melvin Orton. I'm doing kind of like an overview. So now we're going to go right to the fourth song, which is the best part yet. We're just going to move right into this.
At first it was as if people knew what Melvin was thinking and would say things related to where he was at. But then he understood the conscious minds around him, i.e. other people were not that conscious. Unless, of course, he said they were coordinated by some website online.
So like I said, I don't use AI, you guys. I know maybe it sounds that songs and all these other songs sounded like total crap before, and I recently have gone through and I have not only redid a lot, but I pay someone to master these songs. So I'm actually throwing all this time and money into it, not to prove anything, but because I might be freaking crazy. I don't know. But here I'm explaining. It's called The Best Part Yet. So we have like 3 songs of her just being in session with Mr. Orton, you know. And we just heard at first it was as if people knew what Melvin was thinking. This is important to watch this one. Say things related to where he was at. So people would say things to him related to where he was at. Right. But they couldn't come out and tell him. This is because Dr. Clarissa Kates believes him to be a paranoid schizophrenic. But then he understood that the conscious minds around him, i.e. other people, were not that conscious. So he started questioning his previous ideas. Unless, of course, he said they were coordinated by some website online. So he's still trying to balance this in his brain. Is this real? Is this not real? Why am I becoming more powerful by these insights? So unless, of course, he said they were coordinated by some website online that directed what the people around him should say to him. Suddenly, it seems like a Philip K. Dick novel. Dr. Clarissa Kates thought as she was listening to his story, but couldn't say out loud they were in session. She instead asked him why he thought he was so important that such a large group of people would do this. He said he didn't know, but hasn't even gotten to the best part yet. That so much has happened to him that he doesn't even know where to start. But there was an awful influence on him, like blanketing him, and doesn't know what to do. Yeah. You know, so he doesn't know that how his ability to read into the information around him was coming from his brain, or if there was some terrible influence on him that was giving him this information. So this guy was, right? He seemed like he was just crazy. And then Dr. Clarissa Kates asked him, "Can you describe this better?" She asked. No, but you could have some of it. And then her life changed. And when he did that, he did this. He was laying there and she says, "Could you describe this better?" And he's like, "No, but you could have some of it." And he did this motion to her, and it changed her forever. So that's where we're gonna stop it there at the best part yet, right? And I was putting the back of the. I was making my wife and we would create the album covers and front and back, and I was putting the backs on a lot of these. I don't know if I needed to do that, but here's the story so far. Dr. Clarissa Kates continues to listen to Mr. Melvin Orton. Right. She's convinced as she's listening that this man is a paranoid schizophrenic. But then he does something that changes her life forever. Something very, very strange happens here. But let's hear the song first. Here we go. At first it was as if people knew. So that's the best part yet. Right here is No Logical Explanation, which is going to happen. It's going to premiere in 24 hours. So I'm really excited about that. And one last thing I'll do before I start reading. I appreciate you, Danielle. The videos have been insane, always open to new music and what the insights of the music means. Thank you, because not everyone's, a lot of people are just like, whatever, Aaron, don't do that. Don't freaking tell people what it's about. But what I'm doing is I'm actually creating the largest concept album ever. I want to be in the Guinness Book of World Records, right? Of the biggest concept album ever that spans, and I'm going to do this for years until I'm done with it, and then I'm done with it. And sometimes I think I'm crazy for doing it, and but it also brings me a lot of joy, so thank you for that. And you are a lyricist, right? That's what you're saying here. I'm more of a lyricist. The words of songs always have more meaning than the actual instruments. Yeah, it's amazing the dynamic between music and words. It's like the music does something to the words. Then I have this Elijah man talk about my personal content and how he could help me. And then I have Daniel also saying, "I do enjoy a song with a message in it. Thank you." Yes, all of this stuff is my original music. And right now I'm going through a frustrating phase of it because I released all the stuff on Bandcamp, and I'm going to actually bring up Bandcamp now. I originally released my world on Bandcamp. So here we are on Bandcamp, and a lot of it sucked. A lot of the songs I didn't like at all. So, this is a great free. You guys support your artists on Bandcamp because they have Bandcamp Fridays, and all the money goes to the artist. It's all about indie artists. I know there's some controversy about who owns Bandcamp now and blah, 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 but I still like it. And so you go to the view here. All these albums, like here's Psychotronic Squirt Gun, the very first one. Does it say what year? Yeah, see, March 8th, 2021. So over 4 years ago, I was releasing these songs, but I realized when I was reviewing them that they sucked. And most people say, "Don't look back, Aaron, just keep going forward, keep going forward." But because all these songs are interconnected, I have to go back. So not only am I explaining songs, I'm going back and redoing songs. The two big things that, creators tell you not to do, I'm freaking doing it. So when you go to the Good Doctor here, this is pretty much Dr. Clarissa Kates, who we're talking about here. And, there's always a brief synopsis here introducing her. And this is in the first album. This is the back side of the album. And then you go to the second song, Mr. Orton Wasn't Always This Way. And that's on Cloud Pusher. So all these songs are spread out. They're not linear at all. I'm making sense of all this stuff. The songs appear on these albums the way they should, as an album would, the song here, song there, to make the album flow better. So this is Cloud Pusher and Mr. Orton Wasn't Always This Way, which we talked about earlier. And please check out my playlist on YouTube if you guys are interested. This is the first time you're being introduced to this. Here's Insights Interest Him, which is the third EP of The Best Part Yet. And you guys already got a taste.
She began by asking him how his day was.
And it describes Clarissa Kates here, and also loops back. So if you just happen to click on this song, you're like, what? She was first introduced here. It'll loop back to The Good Doctor. So this goes to Mr. Orton Wasn't Always This Way, to Insights Interest Him on The Best Part Yet. And then there's the title track, The Best Part Yet. And you go there, and this is the back side of the EP. And now we're going to go to a song that I haven't released yet. And I'm going to read the lyrics, and I'm going to introduce the song, and all this goodness. Dude, Daniel, that really means a lot to me, man. I am doing this more grassroots. I used to play out a lot. Now I just stay home because a lot of playing out, it comes with a lot of baggage, like I don't want to be partying all the time. I don't mind having a few drinks once in a while. I'm not straight edge or anything like that, but when I'm home here, I'm getting a lot done. But Daniel, just so you know, I really appreciate you, man. So we got The Best Part Yet here, which, this is what it sounds like.
At first it was as if people knew what Melvin was thinking.
And please support me if you guys can on Bandcamp. Okay? I also am streaming everywhere else that you could think of. And you could find those links just by checking stuff out. So here's the no logical explanation, right? And, so what happens is that Melvin Orton was explaining to his psychiatrist, Dr. Clarissa Kates, that he has power and that he could read into the world around him and into the subconscious of others and glean insights and know how to proceed, and that most people are subjugated by the collective unconscious of humanity. Stuff like this, so it's really out there. And of course, being his psychiatrist, Dr. Kates is diagnosing him as a schizophrenic, right? So, but then he did something, and she asked, could you describe this better? And he said, no, but you could have some of it. And he went to her, and then suddenly her life changed. Okay, and this is from Dr. Clarissa Kates' perspective here. So what happens here, admittedly, is very strange. Melvin somehow transmits his mental anguish to Dr. Kates. The following lyrics describe this event. And I'm going to hit play here, but I don't know if it's going to sound great, but here we go. Because sometimes it doesn't on the StreamYard.
Instant feeling of dread and hopelessness flooded her. She actually saw a ripple. Dark wave issued forth from Melvin.
Yeah.
Hit her. Then she sensed that she was part of something.
What up, Dad? Woo! Yeah.
Absolutely terrible and instantly. She began backtracking in her mind.
I don't know if you guys...
Trying to remember why she feels this way now. Stop, no, this is incorrect.
So I don't know if you guys, how well the quality is. That's why I'm not going to play the whole song, you know. Sometimes it's really washed out. And then other streams, it sounds perfect. So I don't really get it. You know, I don't get StreamYard, you know, but that's no logical explanation, right? Hey, Joe, thanks for being here. Joe D. McPhee, my friend, my brother in arms, out there swinging away, creating his own world, just like I'm creating my own world. Appreciate you, Joe. And I appreciate Daniel sticking it out here with me too. Of course, brother, I'm always about the people that are putting themselves out there and sharing their content. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Means a lot. Self-promotion is the best way of promotion. It sure is, Daniel. And like I said, most people probably think I'm crazy because I'm foregoing a lot in life to do this, but whatever, you know. It actually sounds pretty clear today. That's great. That is awesome. So tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific it's going to be a YouTube premiere, and we'll premiere the video. But for now, I'm gonna read the lyrics to Dr. Clarissa Kates and how she feels after enduring this wave of whatever from her patient, her client, Melvin Orton, Mr. Orton, right? Mr. Orton wasn't always this way. Thank you, Leia. Leia is real. I freaking love Leia. Thank you. So this one's called No Logical Explanation. Instant feeling of dread and hopelessness flooded her. She actually felt a ripple. A dark wave issued forth from Melvin and hit her. Then she sensed that she was part of something. You know, it seemed like her individuality was being, there was suddenly a boundary to her individuality, and she felt that boundary closing in on her. She was part of something absolutely terrible, and instantly she began backtracking in her mind, trying to remember why she feels this way now. Like, so it was total irrationality, right? Suddenly you're just who you are. You're a normal person. And then suddenly you're feeling like you're the worst person ever, like you're an antichrist or something. And it makes no sense. And she's going back through her past and trying to rationalize how she could be this terrible, how she could feel this terrible. Then she stopped. No, this is incorrect. There is absolutely no reason she should feel this way, yet the feeling persists. No, there is no logical explanation for this, and she will not look for one. And then, he starts speaking to her. Her client starts speaking to her, Melvin Orton. You see, he spoke to her from across the table. Now you understand where this is from. And I feel the release, like he feels a release. He carried on about how it is only momentary. However, the release is only momentary, and that it will build up again, only for him to release it again. Okay? So some freaking weird influence on him that he's trying, that he's actually spreading in the world. Melvin Orton knows now it is his job to spread it. He has no choice, according to him, but he is wrong about that. So that's what that is. That is what that is about, man. Yeah, crazy. We're all a little bit crazy. I know that, man. It's just the ones that actually make moves on their craziness that are always the ones that are actually the realists. Thank you. Honored to have come across you. No, man, I'm honored. You're always really cool, man. I've seen you around for years, man, and I really appreciate you. So thanks, dude. All right, so we're gonna go back here. We're gonna go back to this no logical explanation, and of course, like I say here, Dr. Kates was first introduced. You go click on this link, and it goes back to the Good Doctor. Okay, I love doing this. And then you go to the next one. Clarissa's story continues, and it wasn't her fault, right? So now I'm going to another album that's called Loops of Redemption, and I love this album. This was like the first album that I made that I really I was proud of at the time, but I'm still redoing a lot of it. So we're going to listen to it now. But yeah, we'll do it. No, I'm gonna read the story so far. Here's the last song about Dr. Clarissa Kates' session with her client, Mr. Orton. Okay, so what is this? Like the fifth song of her, that she's in, with session with Melvin Orton? That's pretty crazy. Well, it seems Melvin Orton managed to immediately inflict some mental disorder upon his psychiatrist. How the heck did he do that? And I don't even know when I'm going to answer that question, but here's the song.
She stood up and walked to the door, ignoring him. He somehow spread something to her. She will work this out. She will put this down.
Yeah.
She remembers her childhood friend and how mental illness overcame her. She found since then to understand why it happened.
Yeah.
Is this why she feels this way now? Was it something she said as a child that impacted her friend? No, no, no. Maybe she was too young to understand the intricacies of an illness. Occam's razor.
Yeah, love this.
She just needs to find the cause to eliminate it. Is this why she feels this way now? Was it something she said as a child?
So that's it wasn't her fault. Which now I'm gonna have to make a brand new video for all these songs. A lot of these songs have already had videos from when I had my false start. I call it a false start because the song sucked, but I made these better. And so now I'm gonna read the lyrics here. I'm gonna remove this, and I appreciate Leia She's very creative herself, and she keeps it real. And I really do, I do appreciate you. You know what I mean? And I gotta, dude, my eyes, I gotta use these now. Dude, thank you so much. And he says, don't quit the music side. I know what you meant. Don't quit. 100% got a gift, brother. Thank you so much, dude, because like I addressed earlier in this video, in the age of AI, people are freaking disillusioned. And I'm not fucking creating music with AI. You know what I mean? All right, so here is It Wasn't Her Fault. While she was hit with that dark wave from Melvin Orton, if you remember, Dr. Clarissa Kates had a childhood friend who went mentally ill after they had a precocious argument, some kind of weird debate. Maybe it was about politics or science, but they were little kids. And the next day, and then which it's Dr. Clarissa Kates. Clarissa, when she was a child, she had a best friend called Marilyn. And Marilyn, she was just as smart, but one day during their debate, it turned into an argument. And then the following day, Marilyn seemingly lost her mind. And she never got over that, and that's why she became a psychiatrist. So it's really profound. But instead of just giving people medication, what she does, she wants to find the cure to mental illness. That's what drives Dr. Clarissa Kates. But now that she's in session with Melvin Orton, he did something. It was like this weird wave. She could actually see the wave, and it hit her. And then she suddenly felt like she was the worst thing ever. And she was trying, so she's in the process of reconciling how she feels with what she knows to be true about herself. So this is called It Wasn't Her Fault. She stood up and walked to the door, ignoring him. He somehow spread something to her. She will work this out. She will put it down. She remembers her childhood friend and how mental illness overcame her friend. She vowed, Clarissa Kates vowed since then to understand why it happened. Okay? And then it goes into the chorus. Is this why she feels, Clarissa Kates, she feels like cursed right now, like an antichrist, cursed, the crazy curse hit her from Melvin Orton. So she's asking herself, is this why she feels this way now? Was it something she said as a child that impacted her friend? No. It wasn't her fault. It was no one's fault. It was a dysfunction, a chemical imbalance, random. She was here to understand that, or was this just a naive dream? This might be just part of this. I might have cut all of these lyrics out. It was never her fault. It was no one's fault. It was just a dysfunction, a chemical imbalance, random. But maybe she was too young to understand the intricacies of an illness. Occam's razor, Occam's razor, it's the simplest solution is the proper solution. She just needs to find the cause to eliminate it. Is this why she feels this way now? Was it something she said as a child? Did it infect her friend? Because Clarissa now feels like she's going crazy. No, it wasn't her fault. So that's that. And now we're going to go back here. And we're going to go to the next song. So Dr. Clarissa Kates had to go and convalesce and take time off and all of this stuff. And her understanding of psychiatry is not just it's actual sickness that has to do with chemistry, and it's not just because chemistry went awry in someone's brain. It's also because they're actually addicted to the mode of thinking. They're addicted to the way they think, and that she has an analogy of it being like a circuit, you know. So here we are, and it wasn't her fault. And now we're going to go to Loops of Redemption, which is the title track of this album that I created. And basically, Clarissa finally walks away from Mr. Orton's therapy session all screwed up like him. It took 5 or 6 songs to get here, so sorry about that. But yeah, she's a trained professional and figures out how to deal with it. So she does not succumb to this. She realizes that whatever fast thinking that's leading her to fear is also an addiction, and she has mental techniques to break it. So she's breaking it, but it's taken her months to do, being alone. So here's the song called Loops of Redemption.
1, 2, 3, 4. Breaking her circuit before the feedback loop of redemption. Emotional pain happens when there's a break in the circuitry. It says no to the messenger. Signals of feeling pain and sorrow for herself. She will not go there. It cannot pass, it cannot pass, it cannot pass, it cannot pass. These pleas for approval are simply highs and lows, electricity passing through a circuit. For feeling if they pass, they are sedated, and a wave of redemption ensues.
So that's called Loops of Redemption. And so that'll be coming up in a couple weeks. I really like that. It's like more like punk, but we're gonna get rid of that right now. Thank you so much for saying hi to me. You know, Mark, what up, dude? So I'm going to read now where we're at in Dr. Clarissa Kates' own healing process. It's like, it's like Dr. Heal Thyself, right? It's called Loops of Redemption. So breaking her circuit, which is the neural net that runs really fast and leads her to fear, is actually emitting neuropeptides to every cell in her body. And every cell in her body feels those neuropeptides, and every cell in the body then in turn releases their own chemicals called biopeptides, and it goes back to the brain to tell them, yeah, we got the message. And all this is a feeling process. All of this is an addictive process that Dr. Clarissa Kates knows to be true. It's called the molecules of emotion. And so she knows that she has to have discipline in the mind to break this. Yeah, man, these are all my original songs. I'm creating the largest concept album ever. So all songs connect into this crazy sci-fi story that I created years ago, and that's ever expanding. And I'm in the process of redoing all these songs, man. So thank you so much, man, for checking it out and saying hi to me, man. I really appreciate it. So here are the lyrics to Loops of Redemption after I explained what mental illness is too. It's also an addiction to neuropeptides, and you can't change because you're addicted to how you think. So here it is. Loops of redemption. Breaking her circuit before the feedback loop of redemption. Emotional pain happens when there's a break in the circuitry and it says no to the messenger coming back up to the brain, right? So sometimes when you're changing, Clarissa Kates knows when you change, you got to push pause on the way you think. There's an emptiness there that most people can't reconcile. There's almost like a withdrawal there. It's scary because they don't know who they are anymore. So signals of feeling pain and sorrow for herself. She will not go there. It cannot pass. It cannot pass. It cannot pass. So it's all just a feeling that she's saying no to. And it's kind of like the Lord of the Rings, where Gandalf against the Balrog is saying, you can't pass. The Balrog is the self-destruction through feeling, you know. Anyway, so these pleads for approval, which are the signals, are simply highs and lows, electricity passing through a circuit. That's her analogy of the neurological network in her brain. So these pleads for approval are simply highs and lows, electricity passing through a circuit for feeling. If they pass, they are sedated and a wave of redemption ensues. It's like, you know, it's kind of like being bad. You're bad all the time. I'm bad. People are telling you, oh my God, you're out of control. You're bad. And then you stop being bad and you start being good. And then you start getting that feeling of redemption. Oh, I'm so good. So Clarissa Kates knows it comes down to being addicted to feelings based upon how we think. So to break her feedback loop is to go through the pain of nothingness. And if that vacuum is held long enough, something new will take its place. So it cannot pass. So that's her description of how she beats whatever this foul influence that Melvin Orton laid on her, like zapped her with somehow during that session. And so, yeah. So that's we're going to end Dr. Clarissa Kates' story now, okay? And so far we've had Chase Dagwood, who has these weird dreams that, you know, that he lived another life on a different planet and has nightmares about these grasshopper things attacking him. You have Eddie Clive, who is this quantum theorist slash musician rather, who is making connections about that all reality is information and vibration, and it's the same thing as words moving on a song. So you have Eddie Clive. So I started with Chase Dagwood, Eddie Clive, and I'm now finishing Dr. Clarissa Kates for a while. And now we're moving on to a brand new character called Daisy Ashcroft, you know? How did I know that you were from another planet? Oh, yeah, you and I are battling in a different reality, Ron. Okay, so I chop up this live stream and I make explanation videos after I drop my music videos. That's what it is. Music video, explanation video, music video, explanation video, week after week. So we're going to go back here, and we're going to go back to my Psychotronic Squirt Gun. You could always support me here on Bandcamp. And all these older songs are in the process of being redone. And I'm actually paying someone to master these songs. So some people are like, hey, you know, Aaron, are you using AI? No, I'm not freaking using AI. I'm pulling my hair out of my skull creating this stuff. Okay, so here's No, Daisy Ashcroft starts in the song called Sifu Ashcroft, right here. You always go to the song, and the song will have information on there. Daisy's story begins right here. Meet Daisy Ashcroft. She's a self-made martial arts badass. She can kick your butt with her own dojo. She's guarded emotionally, yet has a sense of humor and does everything she can to help others. And I want to say that Higgy Pop, man, Higgy Pop, right? We're going to go back to my YouTube, because Higgy Pop actually did a sketch of Daisy Ashcroft, and I'm very proud of it. So nope, I'm gonna have to go here first. So just give me a second here, my friends. And I have to go here, view my channel, and then I could bring it up. So we're gonna share screen. We're gonna go to Psychotronic Squirt Gun. Aaron, I have PSG Comics for my comics friends, where we're gonna do a lot of stuff there too. You go to this. You go to Shorts. Am I up here? Yeah, I am. Okay, good. Go to Shorts. Higgy Pop actually sketched Daisy Ashcroft for me, so let's do this.
This song goes out to my friend Gunner. Psychotronic Squirt Gun. He kicks butt like Attila the Hun.
There she is.
Gunner's music should be the top of the charts.
Woo!
And he reads his comics and they make him smart. Read your comics, they make you smart.
Isn't that great? He did that for me, and he sketched actually a Psychotronic Squirt Gun character. He calls me Gunner. He sketched me a Gunner character. I mean, what the freak, dude? That is so freaking awesome. You guys always check out Higgy Pop Comics. He's a great guy. He's funny as heck, and I'm honored that he actually sketched a few of my characters. So I'm gonna go back to to where I was, because now I'm totally lost in my brain. Okay, we're going back to Sifu Ashcroft here. Who you saw sketches of Sifu Ashcroft, right? Her name's Daisy. Okay, she's a self-made martial arts badass with her own dojo, and she's very guarded emotionally, yet has a sense of humor and does everything she can to help others. So here's her song.
Finishing up her teaching session, Sifu Ashcroft honors the camaraderie of her class. There's an air of goodwill always, it seems, especially towards newer students. Even the wise guy Henry knows when to reel it back. She knows this reflects well on her own abilities to teach. She smiles to herself, knowingly that despite this and despite her ability to crack a joke, she feels a little disconnected. from others. La da da, la da She understands why this is repeated over and over. Others around her let her down, she escaped in the pictures, providing an archetype to shape herself and rise above it all.
So I thought I'd let that one play since it's a shorter song, you know. But that introduces Daisy Ashcroft. And I like that you kind of have a secret crush on her already. Daniel, that's really cool, dude. So now I'm going to read. Thank you, dude. Self-made. That's right. Mixed martial artist. Yeah, dude. And she's Sifu, you know. But we're going to... now this introduces a new character, which you guys will see a video for in about a month. So here it goes. Hey, thanks, Mark, man. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here, dude. You're cool, dude. You don't take it from people too. I see you giving lip back to people, but you do it in an intelligent way, man. It's freaking cool, Mark. All right. Here's introducing a new character called Sifu Ashcroft. Finishing up her teaching session, Sifu Ashcroft ponders the camaraderie of her class. There's an air of goodwill, always, it seems, especially towards newer students. Even the wise guy Henry knows when to reel it back. So it's a reflection of a good teacher, right? Where the students are actually happy for the most part, right? She knows this reflects well on her own abilities to teach. She smiles to herself knowingly. Yet despite this, and despite her ability to crack a joke, she feels a little disconnected from others. You know, so she's still freaking guarded, you know? She understands why this is, repeated over and over. Others around her let her down. So she escaped into pictures, which are movies, you know, providing an archetype to shape herself and to rise above it all, because she's actually from the ghetto, okay? She's from the hard streets, but somehow her drunk mother shielded her, and she grew up on books. So thanks, man. I'm glad you like that. I like that. Yeah, Mark, you're all right. Matthew, what's up, dude? Hope you're having a good day, Matthew, man. I've been working hard on this stuff. That's, you know, dude, that's cool. You're a huge mixed martial arts fan, whether it be UFC, ONE, PFL, or whatever the platform organization. MMA has always been an amazing interest for me. That's cool, man. You're probably into it, you know. I have warrior friends that are totally into it, you know. So maybe you're a fighter too, my man. You know what I mean? Sifu is like the head of the dojo. Like what's the popular when you're streaming sometimes, you know, it means that she's the head of the dojo. She's high up. She's the high up. You know, she's the high up. Serious question. What is a seafood? Just watched a movie by that name, but it was a World War II action flick and was a French word for the white-knuckled willpower and can't stop spirit. I don't know if that has to do with the seafood or not. It might, Yeah, dude, Mark's Sensei. That's right, dude. Yeah, Mark is a legend without a doubt, dude. I like his attitude. But Sensei, dude. That's right. Sensei. Yeah. Thanks, Kirby. Thanks for being here, dude. Sifu means sensei. Yeah. All right. So we're going to do one more song. We introduced Sifu Ashcroft, but I'm going to introduce one more song to you guys, and then I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut the stream. Yeah. That, I should have remembered Sifu. I didn't remember that. So we're going to go back. We're going to share the screen. We're going to go back to this song, Sifu Ashcroft. And this is all on the first album, the Psychotronic Squirt Gun EP. And we're still on the first EP with her. She has 2 songs on this. What I do with all my songs, so you click on the track itself, and it's going to have all kinds of information. Like the 3rd song is Self-Styled Sanctuary. The 4th is The Dirty Vibrations. So anyone ever wants to go ahead of where I'm at so they can help themselves, right? And these are all scattered throughout different albums. But if you want to go back to her original song, Sifu Ashcroft, that's where you go. You just click that, and you're back here. So we already heard this song. And we'll listen to part of the song, She Protects Herself, which reveals a little more about Daisy Ashcroft. Okay. And I probably won't play this whole song, but Daisy muses over why she is the way she is, basically reflecting upon her past. But we all got to ask, is this such a good idea? Here we learn more about her and why she's so driven to do good. So I'm only going to play part of this, then I'm going to read the lyrics, then I'm going to sign off because I'm actually going out with my wife to rendezvous with a friend today. So here we go.
She endures existentialism, allows it to wash over her. She never has pity for herself. That's a lesson she learned long ago. Loneliness sometimes fell, however. No matter how kind they seem to her at times, she protects herself. Perhaps it's due to her childhood and the level of adversity she endured. She managed to lift herself out of some really tough spots due to her tenacity and a lot of good luck.
Yeah.
She remembers how most people around her were unreliable and susceptible to unsavory, corrupt activities. Even her own mother, God rest her soul,
Pretty cool.
lived out of a bottle.
So that's called She Protects Herself. And that's the last song I'll introduce here for today, but I'm going to read the lyrics. And thanks for asking, Mark. How long have I been working on this project? This is massive. From the music to the website to the lore, I can't imagine how long this took. I've been at this, I'm too embarrassed to say. I've always been in bands. I've been in a couple bands that I'm main bands. I don't play out anymore, but this started me writing down. Where did I put? Yeah. Writing down the words first, like guided by voices, like Bob Pollard, the Bob Pollard method. I would say 2017. I started recording and releasing stuff in 2021, but now I'm in the process of redoing them because I know what I'm doing more than I did. I started the project without really knowing how to record well, and but you do it. You just do it, you know. And now I'm actually excited about what I'm doing, but it's a lot of work going back and correcting all these old songs. Most people tell you not to do it because it'll drive you nuts, but I'm doing it. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, I would say it's all indie rock, but it covers a lot. It also has synth, synth wave and all kinds of stuff. But thank you, man. Thanks for being here, dude. And checking it out, man. I appreciate you. Okay, so this is Daisy Ashcroft's second song called She Protects Herself. She endures existentialism, allows it to wash over her. She never has pity for herself. That's a lesson she learned long ago. Loneliness sometimes felt, however, no matter how kind they seem to her at times, she protects herself. She's guarded emotionally. Perhaps it's due to her childhood and the level of adversity she endured. She managed to lift herself out of some really tough spots because she's from the ghetto, real violent at night. So she had really, look out for herself and her mother. She managed to lift herself out of some really tough spots due to her tenacity and a lot of good luck. She remembers how most people around her were unreliable and susceptible to unsavory, corrupt activities, you know what I mean, partying and getting into trouble and also becoming a criminal. But even her own mother, God rest her soul, her mother passed, but her mother lived out of a bottle. But at least she treated Daisy good enough. Thank God for books. They were too poor for little else, like cable or video games. And that's the story of Daisy's life, overcoming her past. So that's Daisy Ashcroft, the fourth character I'm introducing in the Psychotronic Squirt Gun world. And I hope that you guys like what I'm doing. It seems like, my friends are slowly figuring out what I'm doing. But I really appreciate you guys being kind, even if you don't like the type of music I create. I appreciate the kindness. Yeah, who wasn't, right? Who wasn't with the unsavory for many years? In fact, that's why I don't want to play out right now or, do the glad hand and network and all this stuff, because it gets me in trouble. Because I do like to drink, man. I do. I mean, I don't like it now because I don't like how I feel afterwards, but I like the feeling of having fun, And so I tend to slip into that, and it's counterproductive. I don't live in New York. Leah, all the best to you. I'm from back east, though. I'm from Connecticut. Now get this. I'm from Washington State now, and Seattle just hired a similar mayor there, I think. Thank you, Danielle, man. Really do appreciate you swinging by And thank you for sticking with me and learning about this world that I'm creating. Thank you, Mark. That means a lot to me, man. It really does. I created a new YouTube channel called PSG Comics because the algorithm was getting all, I don't know. I separated things for the YouTube algorithm, you know? Yeah, tonight I'm going to go out and with a friend, you know, with my wife with me. And we're going to have a couple drinks and we're going to have fun, you know? But the thing about being in a band, it's different, you guys. It's different. I've gone through it. And I don't want to be straight edge and I don't want to freaking, you know, talk down to people either, but I just want to have fun. So maybe someday I'll get another band together once I'm deep into this story, but I don't know when that's going to happen. Beanie. Hello, Beanie. I am building a UFO. It's unknown. People don't know about it. And your mommy's Meanie. Beanie and Meanie. Yeah, But you're right. The algo sucks. And it's a tough nut to crack. And right now, if I just keep busy creating, that truly makes me happy, creating, then it'll just do its thing. But that's it, you guys. That's all I want to share with you today. I want to thank all my friends for swinging by. What? Right on, dude. Spokane, Yakima, Ellensburg. I know all that stuff. The Screaming Trees came from Ellensburg. So you lived in all this. You don't live there now, but yeah, I'm from Washington State, dude. No, I'm gonna sit down and really enjoy myself. We're gonna go to a place called the Local, and I'm gonna start off with some chicken wings. They're big ones though. The chicken wings are like thick, the whole wing. And then I'm gonna have a salad and steak and all that stuff, and I'm gonna have a couple drinks. You know, it's gonna be fun. Yeah. Put forth the effort. If you put forth the effort to be a straight edge, you assume it comes from the bonus of getting to talk down to people. Plus, you're a family man, dude. Right now, I'm not raising kids or anything, but you are. So good on you, dude. All right, Kirby, Daniel, Mark, Leia. Snoqualmie Falls, dude. Snoqualmie Falls is where Twin Peaks was filmed. I love Twin Peaks. That's another reason I forgot to mention I'm doing this. If you watch David Lynch's interviews, he says, create your own world. And so I have this information that Bob Pollard showed the whole world. Bob Pollard from Guided by Voices. Just watch the documentary, Watch Me Jumpstart. And he teaches you how to write or how he did it. Without one music lesson, he teaches you how to write a song. But he has this archive, song after song after song for freaking decades. And I didn't want to be random or just write random songs about how I felt. I wanted to. So then I ran into David Lynch in his advice to his fans to create their own world. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm creating my own world. So thanks, David. And God rest your soul, David Lynch. One of the best ever. One of the best. Also, why I love David Lynch in his interviews is because he talks like a schoolboy. And he comes right out and tells you that he's not a man of words. And yet you look at his movies and his art, and it's so profound. It's so great that it's okay that he doesn't speak well. And that got me over the hurdle of doing, these streams. My wife is looking at me like I'm a all right, you guys, I'm out of here. Thanks, Ron. Thanks for being here. Talk to you guys later. I'm out. Thank you. I had a wonderful time today. Yeah, dude. I saw that movie, Lucky. All right, man. Thank you, people. Thank you, friends. Talk to you later.